depending on where you're catching up with. A rock a day to my fellow brothers, Kenyan brothers and sisters. I hope that you're taking time today to celebrate the independence and to celebrate what God has continued to do in your life. We have come to the 6th month of the year, which is amazing, and we give God all the glory for having made it, helped us to make it through the 5 months of 2024. So without wasting time, I'm just going to go straight into it because I do not want this to be a long recording. For some of you who are watching, thank you so much for joining us today. And for some of you, I know you'll be watching these in months, years, seasons to come. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Claire. I have the privilege and the opportunity of being the founder of this channel. I'm a registered nutritionist, and I just enjoy everything about nutrition because I believe that God has given us these bodies for a reason, and as long as we are still in these bodies, we have the mandate to prosper and to be in good health, even as our souls prosper. And so I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Yesterday, I did a short video and I'm just saying, like, we have been doing a challenge and it was the end of the challenge. And so I had done the message, the weighing of myself, if the words can come out. And so I wanted to give an update. So a little bit of a history. In April this year, we did like a challenge with a couple of dear ladies, and I was like, kind of just, we're doing intermittent fasting challenge. I always do 16-8 when it comes to intermittent fasting. And so I decided when I was doing that fasting, I started eating more fruits and vegetables. Of course, I always love to eat my fruits and vegetables, and I was a bit more intentional about still being able to exercise and things like that. And at the end of that month, I actually had gained about 1.7 kilos. So I thought the best thing to do is do another challenge to try and see if we can get rid of those 2 kilos. So from the 1st of May until the 31st of May, I started doing the second challenge. And the second challenge was much more, I started doing more strength training. So like lifting of weights, I started doing more, I was running like mainly around 5 to 6 days a week. And then I was intentional when I finish off the I still did intermittent fasting, but when I finish off the fast, the first thing that I was doing is first of all have like a smoothie and then a herb which has some oats which have the fiber that will fill you up a little bit longer, and then have the rest of the meals later on. And so yesterday was the day that I was super excited on the scale. If you know me, I'm not a great fan of weighing myself so every day, so I don't really go on the scales very often. I will weigh myself maybe once in a month, sometimes even once in a couple of months, because I believe it's better to use some other different indices, which of course you can use the weight, which is amazing, it can motivate you, but when it gets to a point where the weight doesn't seem to go off as you would love to, you can easily start becoming demotivated. So I love weights, losing weight and weighing and things like that, but I don't use weight as one of the main key parameters in my weight journey or my health journey. And so yesterday when I stepped on the scale, I was really excited, thinking like it's gonna be amazing, those 2 kg will have been gone and etc. But then I got, instead of having even dropped my weight, I had actually gained an extra 1 kg from last month. And I was thinking like, this is quite interesting, what is happening? And then immediately I started to remember, because I've been doing more strength training, because I've been more lifting weights, it's much more like my body is becoming a little bit more toned. I can feel it. I can see like I've got a bit of how do you say, some six pack that is coming. 6 months. I've got a little bit of more definition to my body. I used to have like really flabby arms. I'm not going to my jumper because it's a bit more cold at the moment. They look a little bit more defined. I fit much more better in my clothes. I have much more energy than I have had in a very long time. And of course, you can still see yesterday I was a little bit tired, but today I feel much more energetic as well. I have more. I mean, I haven't done this, and this is something that I usually do a lot, but because I don't have the scale to do it in the gym where I've been going don't have either, the best thing I usually do is to measure my body fat, and I haven't measured that, and that's something that I really want to do. But I know beyond doubt, if I was to measure my body fat, it will be really low, because obviously running does help me a lot with breaking that down, but also when I do the weightlifting. So I'm not disappointed that I've actually added another 1 kg. If anything, I'm much more happier because it's 1 kg of body muscles rather than 1 kg of fat. And so that's something that has continued to encourage me. And I'm feeling much more motivated, and I'm like, Claire, we're going after it again. So going forward, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to keep up with the strength training. So I'll go to the gym maybe 3 or 4 times, maximum 4 times a week. And when I go, I don't try to overkill. I do maybe 20 to 30 minutes, but it's because I do different sets of things. So if I'm doing, let's say, like the pull-ups, if I'm pulling anything, I'm doing the leg extensions. I have like different regimes for different days. So I try to exercise my upper body, and then the next day will be for the lower body, and then the next day will be the whole body, and then go back. So kind of in a way tricking my muscles so that I don't get used to the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to continue to do that. The other thing I'm going to continue to do, which I started doing in May, which I had stopped doing for a long time, is tracking of my calories. So what am I eating? Calories in, calories out, the same equal amount will mean that you don't gain or lose weight. Calories in less than calories out means that you can lose weight. Calories in more than calories out means you gain weight. So in the end, I'm going to be intentional, continue to being intentional about the calories that I'm consuming, and also trying to ensure that, because I have worked out based on my basal metabolic rate, how much calories do I need to keep me awake, alive, and moving. But I've also worked out, when I do, let's say, exercise, how many calories do I need to add on top and things like that. So I'll try to ensure that every time I stay in calorie deficit, and that's going to definitely help quite a lot. And the other thing that, again, I will continue doing is I will continue doing my intermittent fasting. I want to do this as a lifestyle. I don't want to do it just for a shorter time, but I want to do it for longevity. I want to be able to continue doing this for a long time. So that's something that will continue to be on my to-do list in this month of June. And then I want to keep running. I love running, and I've just registered myself to do 10-kilometer run next week. It's the first official competitive, so to say, run that I'm going to be doing. So hopefully when I finish, I'll be able to medal from the run. Even if I don't get a medal, at least I'll have done that 10-kilometer run, and I'm really excited for that. And so there's just an update of what has been happening. I'm really super excited to see how my body shapes into this coming month. And so I'm not going to do a challenge as such, because I can't just live from a challenge to a challenge. Is not healthy for myself. I also want to just be able to enjoy. I also want to be able to have just like my life without necessarily putting myself under pressure. And that means like this month we're taking some time off just to kind of be able to kind of live just a normal life. So I'm not going to be doing a challenge in the month of June, but I'm doing a little bit more different things. I'm running for a charity on the 22nd of June. There's a friend of mine who's fundraising for a charity one by one. So a couple of friends, we're going to be doing some run for that. I've got this 10K that is coming up, which I'm going to be doing next weekend, and I'm so excited about it. And I'll just continue to doing a bit of like running targets here and there. So that's what I will be doing going into June. And of course, just continuing with my hydration is important. I always move nowadays with this bottle of mine. I've been to the gym this morning, to the swimming pool with my son, and now as I'm dressed up, I'm going to go for a run shortly, and that's just something that I want to continue to do. And so thank you so much to all of you who continue to support. Thank you so much for all of you who are watching this today. If you haven't done so, why can't I just be a little bit like straightforward and ask you, why not consider to subscribe, to like, or to share the content that we produce on this channel? And if you don't like what you produce, again, we appreciate, because we know that it might not be everybody's cup of tea. Is it possible just to let it pass by rather than kind of in a way disliking it? Because obviously that does send negative impulses to YouTube, and that's not really something that is helpful in any way. If this is not something that really excites you or something that is your cup of tea, again, we appreciate that, and again, we are really grateful for that. But please, why not just let it go rather than leaving us a negative a dislike, because it's not really the best thing to happen. Otherwise, anyway, have a great day. I hope you know that you're loved, celebrated, and appreciated. Have a wonderful day. We pray that you will prosper and be in good health even as your souls prosper. God bless, and I'll catch up with you again very soon.